All right, actually, before we dive in and start looking at some examples, this is another point that was really worthy of a video all on its own, and that is the content to promo ratio. All right, and the big point I want to get across to you is that your ratio of content to disguised content. So, and the three methods that I described in the last slide of the handouts, these three right here, all of these would fall into the realm of disguised content. So, tweeting to content to your blog, tweeting to a webinar teleseminar registration, tweeting to a squeeze page. All the ratio of those to just tweeting to content out there should not exceed 5 to 1. Okay, so in other words, remember how many tweets are you supposed to do per block? Well, remember I suggested that you do 5 to 10 tweets per block. So that means that you really should only be doing 1 to 2 promotions per block, which would equal 3 to 6 promotions per day. Okay, so 3 to 6 promotions a day. So really, it's not that much. I mean, if you think about it, but where else? I mean, if you were to send out 3 to 6 promotions a day to your list, to your email opt-in list, it would never fly. I mean, you'd have your unsubscribe rate would be through the roof. You'd probably be getting spam complaints. But on Twitter, you can get away with it because it's not the same people all the time. And here's the other cool thing about it. You can retweet the same disguised content over and over and over again. So let's say sometimes you want to tweet to different blog posts that are disguised content. Then you want to tweet to then you want to tweet to a teleseminar registration. Then you want to tweet to a squeeze page. You can repeat those same things every few days. I mean, Perry, I know that there are times where there's some stuff that you retweet every couple of days.
There's some stuff I retweet multiple times a day.
Yeah, I mean,
it depends on... Yeah, because you got... Normally, Twitter users, one thing they found in some pattern studies is most Twitter users that they use Twitter, like for me, I use Twitter in the late afternoons a lot. Because I usually... In the morning, I almost never turn... I usually look at Twitter early in the morning when I get in to see if there's anything from last night. I turn it off. I go back. I do my thing. In the late afternoon, when my mind starts lulling a little bit, I'll take a break, go over to Twitter and jerk around for a little bit, and then I'll usually hop on at night or on the weekends. So most people are not... I'm the most active Twitter user I know, pretty much. Most people only go on at a certain time of the day. They're there in the afternoons or they're there in the mornings. I used to get up in the morning during the school year when I was a single dad in it for a while. I would get up in the morning at like 5:30 to get my kids ready for school, and I'd hop on Twitter while the kids were getting ready and talk to all the moms out there that were kicking kids out of the bed at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And those moms probably don't have another chance all day to be on Twitter except for right then. So there's nothing wrong with putting out... Only a small percentage of your audience is going to be on at any given time.
Yeah.
And one thing that I found, this is, by the way, I'll throw this in there. If you're doing teleseminars, webinars, stuff like that, you could literally, I believe, on Twitter do a webinar or teleseminar every single night on a different subject, and nobody would probably freak out.
Yeah, and it's just a matter of if you wanted to do that many teleseminars and webinars.
And if you got them pre-recorded, things like that, the registrations go bonkers.
Yeah, and that's the key. And that's the big point that I want to get across to you.
Better than
Again,
making the money.
If you've got, let's say you got 2 squeeze pages, okay? So you got 2 squeeze pages. That's SQP is short for squeeze page, apparently. I just made that up. And then you got maybe two teleseminars or webinars that you can... Because this is the biggie. Once you got a teleseminar or a webinar that worked, no matter what you're promoting, you can just keep playing it over and over and over again, especially teleseminars. I mean, teleseminar companies show you how to do that. And in another TAC report where we talk about the perpetual launch model, so if you are a Total Access Club member, you need to check out the report called the perpetual launch model. I talk about this exact thing right here, so definitely make sure you check that out. So you got 2 squeeze pages, 2 teleseminars and webinars, and then maybe you got 4 blog posts that you go, and you're going to add some more to it, but let's say you got 4 blog posts that you just tweet to time and time again. That is a total of 8. Now, if you notice, you're only supposed to be doing 3 to 6 per day. So really, you could split this up and every other day tweet out the same information over and over and over again, and you're going to be fine. So now we're going back to out of the 5 to 10 out of the 5 to 10 tweet block, we know that at least 1 to 2 of those is going to be from this column over here, that's what we just get to tweet over and over again. So now we really only need to come up with 4 to 8 additional pieces of content that we can tweet. And you can tweet that same content in the morning, you can tweet that same content in the afternoon, and then you can tweet that same content again later on this evening. That's the whole concept of tweeting in blocks. You're not having to come up with a ton of new content. You're retweeting the same information again and again and again. And as long as you stick to this ratio that we're talking about here, you're not going to have anybody upset with you in the Twitter community, and your opt-in rate is going to be rock solid. So now that we kind of got the content promo ratio of the way, let's go and talk about some specific examples.